Part 1. Writing in Academe. Chapter 1. Letting Go of the Dream. Many of us were drawn to academic life because we yearned to live the life of the mind. We hoped to spend quiet hours thinking great thoughts while discovering important things. We imagined having creative and supportive colleagues and plenty of time to talk with them about our ideas. The movies show professors having deep conversations in wood-paneled offices or taking contemplative walks between classes down ivy-covered lanes. No wonder outsiders assume that we have plenty of time to write. If only. Even though we realize that this image is a fantasy, we may still cling to some version of it. We know that our current situation feels writing deflective, even perhaps writing hostile. We hope that once we land a tenure-track job or get tenure or become a full professor, it will be easier to find ways to write. Or maybe if we got to a better university, we will find more support for our scholarship. It is easy to keep yearning for an academic utopia, somewhere we can be productive, valued, and supported. That's certainly what I yearned for. Even though I was surrounded by evidence that universities weren't at all like the dreams in my head or the images in the movies, and I was a media studies scholar and my father was a professor. I kept seeking that book-lined study in the company of supportive colleagues with ample time to read, write, and think. Someday I would have just what I needed to write lots, easily and well. The struggle would finally be over, and I would live in an academic Arcadia. Eventually I realized that my actual situation was never going to match my dreams. This allowed me to face reality. If I wanted to write, then I needed to find ways to write productively in the real academic world. Once I stopped blaming my circumstances, I was able to find ways to secure reliable writing time, space, and energy. I learned how to recognize and find ways around the writing myths that kept me anxious and miserable. For far too many of us, academic writing is a perplexing burden, a source of constant anxiety, self-doubt, and confusion. The entry stakes are very high. Publish or perish. But even after tenure, the writing stakes continue to be daunting. Our self-respect, as well as the respect of our peers, depends on our ability to keep writing. We know that scholarly productivity is the constant coin of our realm. Yet most of us struggle mightily in our efforts to accrue enough of it. We may have spurts of productivity, alternating with excruciating droughts. Or we may dutifully, but resentfully, concoct yet another essay or article in a corner of the field that feels less and less interesting to us. We may apply for grants, knowing we have to get them to keep our funding, while half hoping we won't get them so we don't have to deal with too many projects at once and more rounds of deadlines and revisions. We come up with avoidance strategies that work all too well, until we are faced with professional reviews. And then we crank out what we can, quickly and sullenly. No matter how many lines we add to our CV, we can still feel like we are missing the mark. The tragic truth of academic life is that everyone I know is constantly trying to be more productive, while feeling anxiety and shame about not writing enough. I spent years wondering what I was doing wrong. Why wasn't I writing more and more happily while still having time and energy for teaching, service, family, and friends? Why wasn't this working out like it was supposed to? I recognized dimly that I was in the grip of a fantasy about what academic life can be, and that I didn't know how to write effectively in academic reality. I didn't want to become bitter, and I didn't want to become dead wood, a professor who doesn't publish and therefore should be pruned from the departmental tree. This is a cruel but common way to describe tenured colleagues who may still have much to offer, but because they are...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.